Good evening, and welcome to another Zelda 1 randomizer race. In the current tournament, we are at the beginning of Swiss Week 1. We have fcoughlin, fcoughlin on the left versus Malchior on the right. My name is Tracy, and with me today is Fury SK. How you doing, Fury?
Doing all right, seeing if it's February 2nd all over again here, because it feels like we just did this last night. Two really
Yeah,
good
we did.
runners.
We did. Really excited about this one, though. I'm really excited about this tournament in general. Fred, of course, the creator of the randomizer, Malchior. So he's been here since the beginning. Malchior has been around for a while, so two veterans of this game. Both have won tournaments, so it'll be fun.
Yep, Malchior, I think, want to say it was 2019 for his first rodeo, which is now, 6 years ago. So plenty of experience on both
Yep.
sides. Should be fun.
I mean, Malchior winning the in-person SG Live tournament this past year, so yeah, plenty of good experience. And you'll notice, oh, that's a 19 small secret. We like those large small secrets. Your ad here is gonna be seeing that a lot because we have Book to Understand Old Men on.
Yep, but starting near the Forest Armos, we'll get quite a few of these checks out of the way. Level 8 with that key door, probably not going to be one of them for very long.
Nope. And no way to pirouette that door open, so not much we can do here unless a bomb hole decides to open.
Yeah, that it does not, and that's enough of that. Malchior, surprisingly, still going to go down. Maybe coast checking first.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The Lionel's on the overworld. Not a fan of Lionel's on the overworld. They like to snipe you, them and Gorias. My least favorite. Fred, not okay. I was gonna say 27 for the mid, not so great.
Alrighty, coast check is going to be attempted. However, I think Malchior is going to have a little bit of fun with the screen first. Has to reset it.
Yeah, Fred got a little bit better RNG on that Lionel the first time through. Trying to get the screen scroll to avoid going through it, but with just the Octorok, I might just try and walk through. There's level 9. Immediately, we get to find out how many Triforces we need to enter. I suppose we should talk about that new flag. 6.
Well, that is not 5, and it's not 8. So, I mean, it's kind of somewhere in the between. A little bit of gamble potential there, unless we find an early silvers.
Alright, we saw a book on the coast. But yeah, one of the new flags is we can set a range of Triforces to enter. So instead of doing random or a specific number, we set it to 5 to 8. And the Armos item is going to be on the other side of the world. $68 rupee candle. We will have to buy a candle unless the red candle decides to show up before we get a chance. Or unless we don't need any dungeons under a burn bush. That is known to happen.
Hey, we have candle money. Also, 99 for the large, so it's basically its normal price, give or take.
Yep. Yeah, you take that.
Yeah, the secrets overall is just fine, I think.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised Malchior didn't go straight for the book. Or sorry, not the book, the candle. But he'll probably rot it back in pretty soon. There's enough money that even if he gets hit by a couple of door repairs, he should still have enough.
Another dungeon, another large dungeon with a Patra. I don't think we're going to bother trying to get to the staircase.
Yeah.
It feels like it's transport, even if it's not. You don't want to bother trying to boost around that when you have no boosting item like a candle.
Yeah, and so many of these dungeons, we do see a lot of these little small segments at the start of dungeons. A little less common in the 7-8 dungeons, more common in the 1 through 6, but with the start location not randomized, we're seeing a lot of these little segments to get through to go to a larger segment at the top. Is Fred gonna? Nope. I'm not gonna try it. I always hate when the any roads show up there on the in vanilla level 5 when you're trying to get those couple of spots right there. check for the sword, and you want to know where your any roads are, so you get a little distracted.
Yep, it certainly is trying to send the runner, well, it's tried to send Malchior towards the other Armos, but now sends him to level 2, which, that's a check that kind of gets orphaned for a little while, especially with Recorder being required, so nice to have that out of the way at least.
And it did send him to a grave spot we can get back into. Fun fact, the vanilla level 6 quest 2 location is the one spot on the map that if your any road goes there, it will not leave a stair for you. And now back to our... I think Malchior wanted those arrows, but can't quite afford them yet. We did see earlier that these red Guria are going down to 2 hits with the candle, so we'll be able to try and farm a bomb off them. And there's our heart. One of our hearts. No bombs for anybody yet, though.
More dungeon hype.
See if we get an Armos item here.
The last one has either a stair or an item. What we got?
The red ring. Ooh, early red ring. A lot of runners will be really happy to see that. A lot of runners will be really sad to see that because they're worried that it's kind of an equalizer. If you have a skill gap, I figure with these two, I think I don't think there's this huge skill gap. I think it'll as long as both of them get it. Malchior about to find his. I think it's fairly even up.
And level 1 to level 6 even. So I think was this like 5 dungeons, 6 dungeons? We're about finding them all already.
Now let's see if we can get anything free in level 1. I'm going to check out a little bit of level 5. With the new way we're doing the heart shuffle, so for those of you that haven't seen a race yet, the heart shuffle is changed such that there will always be a heart in the dungeon, but sometimes that heart's going to be in the stair instead of being in the on the floor. And with that new shuffle, it just makes early digs of these dungeons, I think, a little bit more valuable. I mean, level 1 now could have 2 nice floor drops, and if one of them's a sword or a wand or something, you can get something. You get something really nice. Just a little more, in the other dungeons, just a little more likely you can find something on the floor for free.
Speaking of on the floor for free, level 2 is good for those things.
Now, those moblins not going down to the candle, so let's see if we can... Yeah, can't get the Zols either, so... I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do in this level 2, but...
It just depends on if something's free on the ground or not, I suppose. Yep. Yeah, all it takes is a bomb pack, really, to kind of initialize that. Wizrobe's not it.
Hi, Wizrobe. Well, that room won't drop anyway, and Malchior knows that. There's a bomb pack. 5 HP moblins, though.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get a first kill bomb pack to get even more out of it. It just didn't work out. This room might work out, but not really worth it.
If I could spend the key... He's choosing not to. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of spending a lot of keys when you don't even have a sword yet.
Yeah, he's in the one dungeon where it's almost worth considering, maybe level 2 as well, but yeah, I kind of agree to save it for now, see if we can get some sword. Malchior has found it, by the way.
Fred not going to get distracted by the any roads first. Well,
I
maybe he will after this.
Right back to 2 we go. The enemy set here is not bad so far. The wizards are in a room you don't ever have to clear so far, and the rest of them have been moblins, so we might see some resources, maybe some keys at minimum.
So Fred's going to take a little bit longer to get to that sword. Needs to get near start.
To answer the question, chat, items and Triforces can all essentially be free in dungeons, so if you're particularly lucky, you can work your way into an item, whether it be like red candle for additional hits, wand, white sword, uh, maybe you get lucky and find an any key for key doors. There's a couple options. Bow and silvers kind of work out the same way, but you have two components. And you also have a chance to get keys. So if you have a bunch of keys from, like, let's say a level 5 that you dug the first 6 rooms of, and there's 3 keys for free, that's also a big benefit.
Where we did just see the hint shop on that middle candle row spot. Of course, we don't have a book yet, so we're not going to be able to... I mean, you could buy the hints. They're not going to tell you anything. I think I made that mistake once last year. Oh, my ladder blocking that moat room. Of course, might not be anything in there.
It's starting to look like a key's potentially required for one of the 2 items you can find on the floor. Might be the heart, might be the... whatever the item might be.
There's the map.
Yeah, okay. Need a key.
And we just below the wizard room.
So Fred can survive on his half heart to the wood sword and find level 2. I think Fred will be able to get a little bit further in this dungeon. There is a bomb wall, however, I think, coming up that Malchior might get lucky and find a key in. I feel like he did not go left. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he's gonna... Yeah, I think he's gonna grab this Triforce and probably get out at this point. And see up 8 as soon as he saw that to get back down here, he would have had to kill those blue wizards. Good heart for Fred. That'll make it easier for him to make it to at least the wood sword cave.
Being informed that the left was the hint room, so he had seen it, so that was everything that could be done.
Alright, Malchior gonna... okay. Oh, probably hasn't hit those bomb spots near start. Actually, I'm not sure he's done any at the start caves. Because he came down from the screen scroll into the Death Armos and saw level 2 in the sword and went right back to level 2.
Yeah, the only current issue I see for Malchior is, again, like, he basically did see the rest of the graveyard, so didn't get to see the 2 keys that are available if you go into 1, didn't get to see much of 5, really, because I think we were blocked up pretty quickly there. So, unfortunately, just going to be a little bit behind in getting to those with the candle in hand.
Yeah, I imagine Fred with his 2 keys is going to go a little bit further. We'll hopefully see what's in this dungeon.
If nothing else, if he clears to the map, I definitely think he'll burn that key.
Alright, I got a better look at those hint price. Looks about 110-ish rupees, all told. So not too bad for the hint shop. Unfortunately, not super close to start. Makes it a little bit harder to save scum, but sometimes it's just worth it.
Well, that was the hint there, so let's see if Fred clears to that room.
Alright, looks like he's gonna at least clear for the Triforce right now. We'll see if he goes back in. We'll give him a refill, which is always nice. Oh, okay. Now, I like this. He leaves one Moblin. That way, when he comes back, he just has to kill the one Moblin. Because if you clear it completely and you go too far away, all the Moblins will reappear. But if you leave one, it won't. They won't all respawn until you leave the dungeon.
Now I remember why Malchior didn't go back to this room and had the bomb on the floor standing, so that's fair.
I think to progress, we have to bomb north in that wizard room. And this might be the map here.
Yep, is. I think you can technically go up in this room too, but the only way to get to the top half is through the key door.
There it is. Okay, you're picking up the potion letter. Right, we have this Goma.
That would be a fun item blocker. Moat plus Goma. Basically, the only way that can go really bad is if it silvers. There are some other possibilities like a flute or something, but odds seem a little bit less.
And if you know, if you know for a fact you've cleared the rest of this dungeon and you know that's going to be your item, you probably come back and clear it before you go to 9. Fred's not going to pick up the boomerang, but I think he wants a floor heart out of this, so because he's not going straight back for the Triforce. But I don't think he spends a key for it.
No, I think also would be content with a refund of a key.
Yeah, yep, agreed. Yep, there he gets a key.
Heart would have been nice for the guaranteed white sword item,
yep.
But oh, bomb's 35. That's no fun. At least the bait's cheap.
Yeah, once you Fred, I know doesn't take a whole lot of hearts past 6, so getting 6 now would have been nice to him. Like, yeah, he probably does prefer the key at this point. It's entirely possible the white sword item will be picked up at 4. Not that we'll ever know, because our runners have 5 and 6 respectively.
Yep, we'll only know if it's 6 for the time being.
Malchior, you're about to find level 1.
Skip past it for the moment.
And he'll be able to get farther in this than Fred did, because of course Fred didn't have a sword yet when he was here. Wouldn't surprise me if Fred routes back around to that just to get back there now that he's got a sword. It's actually not a bad room to deal with Dark Nuts, because, I mean, what I like to do is I like to get under the water and try and hit him from above, since the sword will go through the hitbox. This hitbox of the sword will go through the water going up and not coming down. Trying to get a better enemy spawn here. Of course, the Zols, unless you bomb them right now, are not going to stay dead.
Looks like about neutral on the blue. Dark Nuts at worst.
Yeah, just look at the money our runners already have. We've already bought a candle. I imagine we might see some key buys and certainly arrows. Cheap bait though, if that decides to show up. And the bow in level 1, so I think we're going to be making those arrows a bigger priority than we were already.
Yep, certainly digging into a bit of a theme with the early couple of items here. see if we get the floor item to stay the same, or if we'll shuffle that one up.
Yeah, a little surprised Fred didn't clear that first room. He's only going to miss a key drop out of it, so theoretically should be fine. But we'll get his bow here.
Now you're going to make quick work of this. Hope that the item is going to drop underneath this Gleok.
Is the heart container. Of course, that is probably the heart container for the dungeon. We won't know for sure until we see the other floor drop.
Now we're about to stand where the item would drop here. It's still the key. Ooh, a little bit of fun here. This can drop as well, be the top, basically second row drop room. And Fred also going to take the heart now at 6. Might see Fred stop at this point.
Yeah, certainly I don't expect him to go down any stairs for hearts, but it would surprise me if he picks up the ones that are basically free on the floor. I have the map. We've hit most of these rooms.
Ooh, I think
More blue dark nuts, and Malchior's doing what I would do, which is say, well, let's see if there's a better room to clear first. Now, that compass is, well, there's our Triforce right at the bottom.
Yeah. No one... Oh, it's going to be here, I would bet.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's a white sword sitting in the Gibdo.
I would just brute force, but might be
Yeah.
after some bombs. Nope. Just going to say nope. Fred also saying no to the same room.
So early on, we've got bow, red ring, white sword. Pretty decent setup for a quick seed. There's our 6 Triforce entry. Those silvers, though, they control you, or they could just be on path. We'll see. We'll see what our runners get. Interesting. Looks like Fred must have gotten a key from some other spot that Malchior did not, because they're coming out with the same number of keys.
Yeah, I think Fred had cleared one of the rooms earlier with the candle and the wallmaster, and that's going to keep him equal for now.
And I imagine we'll head over to level 5. Let's see.
Yep.
If it was just combat that blocked them, then we'll see some of level 5. If there's anything else going on in here, we're going to find out. Now we had a key door. And a stair. I mean, it's level 5, so of course it's the transport first.
Yeah, still got a chance with where it threw our runner out for it to be one of multiple staircases that end up transporting.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of segmented 5, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's a segment. Also wouldn't surprise me if it's not. Yeah, this looks like this screams of one of those little 3-room segments that's just gonna be off by itself because we have to have a start at the bottom, and then we'll have some sort of blob at the top. Unfortunately, we get to play find the bomb hole at this. Fred's down to 1 bomb. It may be that he has already tried all the walls. I didn't quite see if he tried all the walls there or not.
Yeah, Malchior is trying to set himself up for a bomb force here.
Yeah, Fred was trying it too, and it just didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, it's easy to hit this Octrock a handful of times, though, and pull that off. So, surprised that Malchior did do that, but still got the harder way.
Okay, we'll see Malchior try and bomb all these walls and see if I already saw Fred do the one to the right, so this is all by itself. And that 3-room segment is not a 3-room segment. It's something's got a bomb in there. We might see Malchior try that right now.
Yep, might eventually just say, forget it, I'll head maybe to 3 or something.
There it is. There's a heart on the floor. I feel like there's a little more incentive to try a little harder to find these bomb holes in this flag set with the book not being an atlas. Like when the book's an atlas, you can say, well, maybe I'll come back later. Maybe I won't have to worry about the map because I'll have the book. There's arrows for Fred.
Definitely happy to have the white sword at this point. This is
yeah.
This is becoming a running theme so far.
Yeah, Fred spending money, getting arrows and a key. I like it. And of course, I will point out this is a mixed quest overworld, so any location that only shows up in just first or just second quest is going to have approximately a 1/3 chance of opening up.
Looks like Malchior is working towards the Triforce. I think it'll only be a shared super room if it's a right-hand staircase.
Yeah, I think you go at least go to the right here to see if you can get something. It's not a stair, but you will get a key. It looks like he's going to kill these dark nuts to go up. There's a lot of key doors up here. I'm not sure I'm going to spend a key here to find the item. Bomb upgrade.
Well, it's not the best, but that room is absolutely
That's not a good key spend. Unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah, well, he was block key door either way. It was just kind of hoping that one key would pay off, and did not.
I mean, I like the use of a key, to see if you can find your way through to something. It's just unfortunate he chose the key door that was going to ladder block him.
And I'm going to go up here, and this could be it.
Promising.
I think you gotta go to the wall here, yeah. Fred, meanwhile, back in 7 to have fun with the Patra from before. This is not it. Fred, meanwhile, going to be clearing the Patra out of his way in case he has to go through this room again, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could drop. The spiral stair can drop in 7, so, and it's the map, so he's probably pretty happy he cleared that. Malchior to leave the Triforce. He won't have to completely clear that room again because of the spike traps, but there were Zols in there, so something's going to respawn.
Yeah, it's just a question of how bad do you want the item in here. It doesn't look like there's a guaranteed path to it, so we don't see any additional rooms where there appears to be a opening. And might be Triforce and leave, might be Triforce and re-enter and bomb around the front. I don't know.
And Fred setting up a bomb count and taking out his frustrations at the same time on the bomb upgrade that he can't afford.
You know, with the rules with the map, I think I'd almost be tempted to bomb probably right at start.
Mm. Except I think they came from left to... No, that would be... Yeah, right at start. Yeah, because then you'd have to... You can
You'd ha-
pirouette that, but like you have to go all the way back to the forgotten spot and do a screen scroll. You're not going to do that. So yeah,
yeah,
you could try a bomb there
we know it's not the left because both
because they
runners
came that
coming
way.
back in came back through that way. And we know it's obviously not the top because that's the way forward through the rest of the dungeon.
Looks like Fred's going to find something here. It is the power bracelet.
Here we have Malchior leaving. I don't know if that means we found something or there's nothing.
Yeah, power bracelet, an interesting item in this flag set. No forced overworld block. It does open up 7 spots, 4 of them guaranteed to open. But if there's nothing there, it can just lead to a bunch of extra checking.
Yeah, the question chat is: do the number of bombs for the upgrade stay consistent across both spots in the sea? The answer is yes. They will both be the same. It's not something that randomizes independently. They both kind of operate off the same number. A quick glance as well appears Malchior did leave 5 empty-handed for now.
Yeah, Fred not willing to pay the mugger. It was like it was keys and bombs. I wouldn't want to pay those either, and there really isn't any progression beyond that room, so I think it makes sense to go ahead and skip it.
I wonder if Malchior is making the rat play here. Maybe? Nope. I guess not. Off to West Death Mountain he goes. Ooh,
Oh,
a raft.
there's a raft. Not really what you're hoping to find is your white sword item. Does open 2 locations that are obviously guaranteed to open. It could be a dungeon there. The only way it'd be hard required at this point would be if it were silver arrows in a dungeon, or if it were, you know, some blocking item that either blocked the silvers or blocked level 9. Well, we already seen level 9, so that won't happen.
Seems like level 4 will also be up in Death Mountain, so that might end up being a good play depending on what happens to be in there. Nothing else will put Malchior one step closer to being able to enter 9. Which, you know, you could really gamble without the ladder and silvers, because silvers do have a shot at being in there, ladder will not be.
Here's a stair heart for Malchior, which means the item will be on the floor in level 4. Like Fred maybe ladder blocked out of more of this 7.
Alright, well that room gives you a little bit of an understanding of how the dungeon's going to work.
Fred's trying to get a bomb drop resetting when it doesn't work out.
It'd be
I will-
interesting to see if Malchior spends as much time in 7. Fred may not have gotten the payoff that he wanted outside of, a few more overworld checks. But the key counts are a little bit different at this point because of that dig.
Yeah, those 6 keys could really pay out in some of these other dungeons. Back in 7, okay.
Yep, might have some bomb possibilities left.
Okay, we're gonna try and bomb up here to try and get around this ladder block. Floor heart.
Want to say that was double heart, because wasn't it like the maze room push for the heart?
In 4, was it? Okay.
Yeah, the maze room pushes in 4, I think. So I'm pretty sure that's our coast heart. Unless I'm just like blind.
I didn't see the stair item for 4 for Malchior, so if you say it was a heart and we just saw the floor heart, then
I'm looking at chat to yell at me again, so we'll wait. Man, just enough keys, too. Gonna look for another key, I think.
yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Oh, I'm wrong. Look at me. Completely wrong.
We're gonna see if he can bomb down here. He cannot, so that means the Triforce in 7 is ladder blocked. I mean, you probably grab it towards the end, because it's going to be a quick Triforce, assuming you do get the ladder. But on the other hand, you might just path into other Triforces, so it's entirely possible he doesn't get that. And we find level 3 up here in the Lost Hills as well. I'm gonna pirouette the level 3 key door here and see what we got going up. And Malchior's gonna grab a key. Oh, hello. I missed the silvers in 4. Is that what you're referring to?
Yep.
You say you were wrong about the heart.
Yeah, I was completely wrong about the heart, because I saw the silver. I was like, well, that will prove me wrong.
Alright, well...
Didn't even give him a chance to yell at me. They just said, hey, next room from the Triforce.
Alright, well, they're definitely, I mean... You definitely gamble on 9 here if you don't get a ladder. Unfortunately, you could get all the way to Zelda and then find your ladder block there. That's a recorder on the floor for Fred, level 3. Now remind me, where was that level 4?
Level 4 is in DM West, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know when Fred goes over there, so... That could be problematic, and we saw... We've already seen a race where the silver arrows were in a dungeon that one of the runners just never was going to do.
Malchior getting in the staircase, they didn't have to do that again. I'm a little bit surprised to see this dig, but I guess it makes some sense.
We haven't found 3 yet.
Yeah, I feel like he's also seen like every other dungeon besides 3, though, at this point, except maybe level 6. I guess just hoping to get all the Triforces necessary in the 6 known dungeons.
Yeah, sometimes you just do all the dungeons that you know the locations of, and that works out. Fred's gonna grab that Triforce out of 3. He'll be done here. Probably gonna test out that power bracelet, see if he can find anything good with it. So far, nothing super useful. Malchior's gonna get his compass for this a lot earlier, so I don't think he may not actually dig this dungeon. He's gonna find out that he can't get the Triforce, though.
That may be the end of that.
Yeah, I don't think he's tried... Okay, maybe he has. I wasn't sure if he's tried to bomb down there. Fred's gonna grab a potion from a Take Any. He's already got 7 hearts and has the white sword item, so completely expected from him.
Yeah, this is the difference between a 8 Triforce seed and like a 5 to 8.
Yep.
In this case, with 6, I think Malchior, if it was 8, is probably digging.
Yes.
But you can't wrap, so you gotta just go for it. I think it's not gonna be bomb left because you came in from that side. Easy map though.
That's nice.
Well, easy because red ring and white sword.
Yep.
Otherwise, not so much.
Nice little one-room segment there. Let's see if Fred goes back into this level 5. We never did see the map to 5. Or the item.
We may not be going very deep in this level 8, depending on what this wall does.
Well, we still can keep going.
Clean this manhandle up just to see.
Fred completely avoiding the free heart on the floor.
Another staircase here. Will it connect back? Will it send us to the one off? We're probably not going to find out either way. It's only going to be used if it's... Well, he's going to die here, but...
Yeah. Red ring doesn't make you invincible. As Patchers will let you know.
He's only going to go retrieve an item in the staircase. I don't think there's a transport being taken at this point.
No, totally agree.
Now, if for some reason there's like, let's say a dig dogger guarding the Triforce directly, then I think that changes your pattern of play here. You may still not take the transport, but you probably dig an 8.
Yeah, that would make things a little bit interesting, because then we'd have a recorder block. If we had a recorder block Triforce and a laddered block Triforce, you would need at least one of those. I guess no, you'd have to have 2 of them. You have 6 Triforces to enter, so you could just skip those 2, but then it forces you to do very specific dungeons, which is also interesting in its own right.
Answer the question, Chad. I believe it's, I believe we're down to just level 6 that we, the commentators, have not seen. I think between the runners, it's a little bit different. I think Malchior probably hasn't seen 3.
Malchior definitely hasn't seen 3, and Fred hasn't seen 4.
Yeah, Fred is heading the way of 4, so I think that it's probable that he gets there soon.
Mm-hmm.
10 keys also, so if there was a key door in the way in this level 5 to an item, it would not be in the way anymore.
Yeah, I think if you're Fred, you've got so many keys, you just go ahead and spend them.
Another manhandle guarding another staircase, potentially.
Unfortunately, we don't have boss HP randomized, so Manhandle's always going to go down to that 1 bomb.
Quite honestly, my least favorite enemy to deal with plus HP.
Oh, totally agree. And that's 5 Triforces for Malchior. And Fred does leave level 5. Should find level 4 shortly. There's that raft.
So now you're going to start making work of the overworld again. Probably just looking for 3. Would take 6 if it had to be, but...
Yeah, gonna grab this... No, wait. I was about to say, no ladder yet, so we can't pick up that book. Gonna check this raft spot.
Oh, this is a good enemy set to Slamu, except he's going to kill them all.
If
That's
there's a
the
dungeon
easy
here,
way.
they'll all be back. But no.
The easy way out from Malchior, and doesn't even need it, because it can up A and go probably to Vanilla 4.
Seems reasonable.
We'll check stuff along the way, but might be playing the odds that his item turns into something.
Oh, the virus are going down to a white sword. That's nice. One of your really good bomb droppers. Okay, Malchior is going to find level 3, which means he will find, should find the recorder on the floor. One less thing that could get in his way. Recorder blocks to end the game are much rarer than ladder blocks, but they certainly can happen, so it always feels better to have those things than to not have those things if you're going into level 9.
I will ask chat, since I have not seen it. Have we seen the bait block at this point?
I have not seen the bait block. So if it's been seen, I missed it as well.
Useless in 7, there you go. Tracker is on the case.
Trackers are, that's what we have them for. That's why they're the MVPs. And we have one of our trackers that isn't tracking right now, Special K, doing the tracking tonight for us, doing a great job. But OpnoPoint, one of our other trackers, pointing out that the silvers are next to the Triforce room. So I imagine Fred's not going to miss those.
Yeah, currently, the only issue that Fred has is that it took him a lot of time in 7 to only really get a power bracelet that doesn't seem to be required. I mean, it could be guarding 6 with a ladder, and ladder could be required. There's a small chance, I guess, but I think
I
Malchior...
think that's what he needs for that to be worth it. I think Malchior's going to... I want to say that recorder was in that little nub there under the E. The first E of level. If that's the case, Malchior is probably not getting that recorder because he's only got... He's up to 4 keys now, so maybe he goes back in, but I don't know.
I think you almost have to if you're Malchior. If you're going to go ahead and clear this room, then you're probably looking for the ladder to be here.
Good point.
And if it's just that one room, and that one room is 1 key, and it could be the ladder, and you can't get ladder blocked anymore, I think suddenly that's a fine enough play. Now we're going to get up to 5 keys.
And now he's getting keys.
6 keys.
There's the silvers.
Sort of, but not really, is the answer to the ladder block. I think it's likely only a play in 7.
Yeah, level 7's Triforce is hard ladder block, but since we only need 6 to enter, it's not necessarily a hard required ladder until 3 Triforces are blocked and or something in level 9.
Yeah, and we know that there's not going to be 3 because Fred has the Triforce out of here, so it's...
Yep.
We have enough to get into 9.
Yep, that's right. Malchior has the try out of 8, and Fred has the try out of 3, so...
And chat's saying that they would maybe be trying it out of here already, but I kind of get it with how small this level 3 is going to be once you make your way to the Triforce. If you went directly there, you'd be skipping 7 rooms. And I don't know that that's profitable anymore, I guess would be the best term. Like, if the Triforce was in the second room of this level 3, I think I would also agree that you just skip.
See if Fred decides to go into the spiral. This was the red candle, if I remember correctly. He's got his red potion ready, so he's going to go ahead and get this item, or at least see it. I don't know if he'll pick it up. Red candle in a first quest enemy set just doesn't have the same kind of power as in a second quest enemy set. You don't have to worry about red bubbles. Candle boosting is not nearly as powerful, so I imagine he'll just look at it and leave it alone.
Yeah. I'm just going to take the Triforce, probably walk back in, and that's actually going to equal him up after all that.
Yeah, and Fred's almost to the Triforce in 8, so we're going to be even coming out of these dungeons. So assuming both runners choose to go into level 9, they're going to be entering around the same time.
Yep, Fred actually will have a slight lead into there after that entire dig of 7.
He's also going to have 2 more keys.
Not quite as many bombs.
Nope, was unable to purchase the bomb upgrade. More silvers, though. 108 rupees to 10. There's that recorder for Malchior. Not quite what he was hoping for, I'm sure, but it's at least potentially useful.
Yep, there's a little bit of desync on the timer, so Fred does have a slightly larger lead than might appear, but it's still not very substantial. It's maybe about 25-30 seconds.
Yeah, I think I can fix that.
It's not huge, it's just worth noting that there's a small lead here.
I'm going to go ahead and sync that. So Malchior will be frozen there for a second.
But yeah, they don't need the Triforces all full in this one unless it happens to roll that way. Since some people are coming in a bit later, it is 5 to 8, and in this seed it was 6.
Fred already with that map. We're missing almost the entire right column. So a little bit smaller, but not. It's still pretty chunky without a lot of holes in it, so. Looks like we're getting one of the easier enemy sets for this level 9 as well, so. There's the map for Malchior.
Well, the dream spot for Ganon's gone for both ends of it. I think both runners got up here earlier. Or Fred got up here earlier and Malchior's here now.
I mean, that could be a stair of significance potentially, but probably not. Neither runner's even going to bomb over there. And I really like having Pole's voice in level 9, because yeah, you're going to spend a lot of arrows to kill them, but they're also one of your best money droppers, so you're going to get your money back. And probably more. Oh, hi Zelda.
Yep, so Fred has half the equation. There is a moat that doesn't do anything, so still safe.
Yeah, there was a stair in that room that Zelda's off of. I would have liked to have checked that stair just to see Like if that goes to Ganon, then you just take it right back to Zelda. Or at least know where that stair is, so maybe you get a quicker path back.
Yep, that stair actually was the one he came out of and just
Okay.
kept roaming, I think.
He just didn't actually kill the... either he didn't kill the post voice, or we didn't see it. Or I didn't see it.
Yeah, he didn't actually clean the room out until he came back. Hey, there's a Dig Dogger that could have been blocking something. Man, despite how chunky a good portion of the 9 is, bomb walls are non-existent.
Oh, there's Ganon. Got him.
Alright, so if there is not a moat block for Zelda, this might be all we need. So we get all the way to Zelda's room, so it's gotta be what? Right side moat, Chevy, circle moat.
Yep.
Tea room would be funny, but not funny.
I mean, a tea room would have to have another entrance to it, so it would not guarantee a ladder block, but yeah, it would be.
I think we might have been all the way down. I can't remember. Let's take a look again here.
Yeah, I didn't quite see exactly what path Fred took to get over to that bottom left corner, but that's where Malchior needs to get to. And if Zelda is ladder block, then we have all sorts of interesting things going on.
Well, about to find out.
And nope. Free and clear.
Alright, so that is an official time for Fred of 56:13. So we'll move to
GG's
one
to
note.
Fred. Very, very close, very good race between our runners.
Feels like Ganon is walkable.
Yeah, if Malchior just keeps going left from here, he's gonna get there. I think it's the very bottom corner, so he's gonna have to go down at some point, but there should be a door going down in this room. And there it is.
So almost the difference entering 9 to fighting Ganon. Maybe about a 20 to 25 second time loss in 9 overall for Malchior, so maintained pretty close throughout this 9 dig.
Yeah, I think it came down to the extra time Malchior spent in 5 versus the extra time Fred spent in 7. And just the time Fred spent in 7 was just a little bit less, I suppose.
We are joined by Fred Coughlin. GG's.
Thank you. Whew, that was scary.
Yep, didn't quite get the dream circle moat, Chevy, tea room, whatever.
Oh,
So
I was terrified as heck that was coming. Not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
the tea room would have been most interesting because that would have been like, still kept you searching. But
Yeah, I would have at least had to hunt a little bit more if that was the case. So.
Yep.
Yep, we have Malchior on the way to the same path to Zelda, so shouldn't be too long here. It's about, I would say, about a 30-second lead into 9, and it's going to turn into, what, about 2.5, so just a little bit more of a pathway dig for Malchior through this 9, but otherwise, really close race, pretty much from start to finish. I mean, what started as kind of a synced route turned into a little bit of desync, and you ended up back together, synced again.
Yeah, sometimes these flags, it can be that way, and it felt like, especially with 6 out of 8, and especially once, 7 ended up being a jerk with that ladder.
Yeah.
That was going to be a fun combo there to try to get through. And GG to Malchior there, finishing up.
Yeah, official time of 58:42. So 2 sub hours, which is always fun. But yeah, I feel like you spent a bunch of time in 8, got the power bracelet out of there, and then went and found the Triforce was ladder blocked. Malchior spent a lot less time in that level 7, but spent a lot more time in level 5, coming out without the item, which whatever it was wasn't necessary anyway. And that, I feel like that was maybe the bigger difference. Although Malchior, who's joining us, GG's.
Hey, GG's.
Great race there, Malchior.
Yeah, that was a good one.
One other factor, I feel like Fred, you were a little more go-mode-y once you had all your things, and Malchior, you did a few extra checks, spent a little extra time in 3 killing things when after that second the item with the recorder. Key differential played a part because Fred, you came out of 7 with all these keys and a power bracelet that was useless. Which allows you to go right into that item room for 3, and Malchior, you were trying to save those keys, and so ended up coming back in for that recorder, which didn't do anything anyway, so.
I was so scared of ladder.
Same here. I decided I'm going for this. The problem is, I'm playing against you. First of all, the Mr. Full Clear thing. So you're going to have the ladder normally going into 9. Turns out apparently I was wrong on that assumption, but, you know, I assume you're going in there with 9, with ladder, and I assume, well, you're dang good anyway, even if you're not getting the ladder, you're going to be in, you and I are going to be in there pretty dang close, and it sounds like that was extremely accurate. So, I've got to go as fast as I can to try to make things up there. Once I had the bow, once I had the silvers, I'm like, okay, this is it. We're going to see if we can get to the Triforce in 8, because we knew we couldn't do it in 7 at that point, and then just run to 9 as fast as we can and hope that we don't run into the ladder blocks. And if Ganon's in the evil room, that at least I can try to maybe get lucky and snag a Triforce even without that. And we got lucky.
I was planning on it already. I'm like, if I find him in a Chevy, I'm gonna find a way in from the left or the right side, because I know I can get a pickup there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That was my hope too.
I mean, we're down to second item in 8, item in 6, item in 5, and of course we never even found 6. Who knows where that is?
It's okay. 5. Where's the dang map? I went and checked at least 3 or 4 extra walls. It's like, all right, if the ladder's hiding this 5, then I just win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no idea. No idea. We never saw the map in 5.
Yes, I don't think I got that one either.
I thought you were pirouetting from the forgotten spot to maybe try and open the wall on the right at like some point right after you left 5, but that was my only thought, because usually 5 tends to put the map pretty close. It's not always right at start, but it's usually not like miles in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I felt like I was losing so much time on the overworld because like I never had keys, so I was routing in when can I get back to my key shop. And I was checking all these other spots in Deadwoods and Center Hyrule. Not looking for dungeons, looking for a key shop, so I don't have to revisit Lost Hills.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I never found it.
Yeah, I want to say there was a key shop in the forest somewhere. I think, Fred, you picked up keys and arrows. That was the cheap key shop, had the arrows in it.
Yeah, I think they were like the one 2 north of the Vanilla Coast. I don't know what other people use as their notation, but that's the one where I at least walked in, grabbed the arrows, and said at the time, because I think I had like 230 and I had the red ring at the time, I said, okay, I'm just going to grab I'm going to grab a key, because I think I was at like 1 key at the time.
Yeah.
Key count ballooned a little bit after that, but...
and that's also why I killed the extra rooms in 3. Not for the item. It was like, okay, I know 3 typically has a lot of keys.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's the right call to make.
Yeah, you did get a bunch of keys in 3, and it's scary to go into level 9 with like 0 keys, 1 key.
So I proceeded to use none of them. Hooray!
Of course not.
Yeah, there were like almost no key doors now that you're saying that. Yeah.
Now you mentioned the red ring, Fred. Now it's interesting to hear different runners' opinions of having the early red ring. I know a lot of the stronger runners don't like to see it early, especially if they're playing a weaker runner. I feel like, I mean, and the finish of this race bared that out, that you two are fairly evenly matched. So, what are your thoughts on having that red ring early?
I wanted it. I'm completely the opposite of all these high tier runners. My low percent combat is horrendous. Give me that red ring, now I can fight. I can fight as fast as I can. You know, I know technically it's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to learn your proper combat by not having the ring and learning how to fight it properly. But I fight it fast when I can tank it. So as soon as I found that, okay, yes, I am golden. And then it was just a matter of, okay, go get me a sword. So that way I could start actually digging more of these dungeons. I stuck my head into one a little further than I wanted to, hoping I could, get something key off the floor, like a sword or something. That's why I did the swordless kill with that blue candle in 7 enemies. I was like, every single burn I did there, I was like, I should not be doing this. I should not be doing this. I should not be doing this.
I was so mad that moblins were 3 HP or like 4 HP. 5, wherever they were.
Yep.
Because I was counting my globals. I'm like, okay, here's my bomb, and then I'll try and swordless everything else. I'll set up a force, and this will be great. And I was like, oh, come on.
Yep, reds were 4, and blues were 5.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, up in 4, I didn't know if my count was 8 or 9 when I ran, or wherever it was. Was it 4? It was 5. It was 5. When I saw all them Zols, I'm like, it's my count 8 or 9? Because I know I hit one, I knocked it into a block, and that likes to increment the count. I'm like, screw it, I don't care. So I left the room knowing they would all respawn and just bombed a group of 4 of them. I was like, okay, there's my force.
Well, that covers you.
Enough of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, Malchior, you didn't answer the question about the red ring. What are your thoughts when you see that early red ring, especially when you have a relatively even matchup in this situation?
I'm gonna full clear anyway. I'll find the red ring. Don't give it to me early. I'd rather have a wand. Give me a wand.
Oh, I'll take the wand too, yeah.
Oh, wand's a great early item.
I know Fred's tendency to get a little in over his head. Like, so he first went into 7. I saw 7, I saw Patra and a spiral stair. I'm like, I can't get a boost this. Nope. And so I left.
I did the same thing. I actually did the same thing. I said, Patra, nope, I'm out of here.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't even think you all had a candle when you saw that Patra, so like, candle boosting wasn't even, you'd have to just try and get in with taking 1 hit, and that's good luck.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I didn't have the candle at that instant. I was like a few rupees short, and then I think I got the door repair at the letter or something that gave me enough, and then I went back for it.
So, did you find the compass in 7 early?
I want to say no.
You took the stair.
Yeah.
I was hoping that. Because I'm like, sweet, the Shrine Forces ladder block, that's actually good for me. As long as he didn't find the ladder.
Yeah, Malchior, your 5, his 7 was your 5.
Yep, and just even it out there.
Yeah, I think I got a bunch of keys up north. That may have been where my key that's supremacy
exactly
came from. So it may have evened out a little bit where I was less afraid to go through key doors. I mean, I still pretty much avoided them, but I was definitely less afraid towards the end of going through key doors because I kept saying, okay, if I got 7, 8 keys, I can blow a key and I'm fine.
Yeah, I think that was the difference, Fred. You picked up keys, Malchior, you had a bunch of key doors to deal with.
I entered 3 at like, I think 1 or 2 keys or something.
I think he had 1.
Yeah, if I spin that key, go left, find that recorder instantly, I skip the rest of those rooms entirely and just get the Triforce. Yep. And then I don't know who was in 9 first, but left versus up. That's all that
Fred was a little bit sooner into that 9, but it was close.
Yeah, that was super fun.
It's always a pleasure playing you, sir. You are always awesome, and it was definitely a blast getting to draw you in a match in week 1 here.
Yep. Great race.
All right. Anything else that either one of you wants to add before we go ahead and close this out?
I mean, thank you again to everyone running this here. Thank you to you, Fury and Tracy here, doing everyone's favorite job with the, all the talking. Also to JJJ back there behind the scenes doing all the tracking, even though, no one ever says anything to the tracker, but, they do a lot of hard work. It's awesome.
They're the MVPs for a reason.
Exactly. No one ever thinks of it, at least, watching the show, but they do a ton of stuff. They make it a lot easier for everyone to understand. So thank you all, the whole team here, for putting this on, and looking forward to the rest of the chaos here. Great race again there, Malchior.
Thanks, you too.
Mal, you got anything?
Yeah. This Friday at 10 p.m. is the Valentine's Day race. So show up as hope. I want to try and get the missus in here. I hope she won't turn into a pumpkin because it's a little late for her.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And we have some special sprites made by Zero Meaning. I'll be getting those posted within the next day or so.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
For anyone who wants to use a custom ROM.
All right. Well, thank you to both of you. There is one more race. It should be about 10 minutes in. Over on SpeedGaming 3. That'll be Jess Andy versus Truant Gamer. Another really good first round matchup. So I know I'm gonna head on over there. I hope you all will too. Fury, again, always a pleasure.
Yep, always fun.
And again, thank you to Special K for doing the tracking. Always the MVPs. We'll head on over to SpeedGaming 3. Hope to see you all there.